we started on the whole journey of LGBTQI inclusion, and essentially because this resonates with our purpose. Forever, since its inception in 1992, back then we were just Sapient, and in 2015 is when the organization was acquired by Publicis. That's when we became Publicis Sapient. The organization has worked towards enablement of human potential. And when we say humans, we actually would want to cover everyone. It's not a gender specific agenda that we have. We revised our purpose to help people thrive in the brave pursuit of next. And while we were also looking at a purpose, figured out that, if we just focus our attention on a particular set, we are truly not working towards achieving our purpose. And also the core values that's been guiding us in the whole process is that of inclusive collaboration. And when I say inclusive collaboration, it is to ensure that we are creating a safe space for every voice to be heard. And with these two strong pillars, it was inevitable for us to be on the journey of inclusion, and specifically to be on the journey of LGBTQI inclusion. I want to start with a video. This is something that Publicis Sapient created in partnership with Humsafar Trust as part of the Transcend program. So we started the Transcend program in 2017. Early 2017 is when the conversation started. We formally kicked it off in June 2017. And the essential purpose was, while our CSR team got into it, the essential purpose was to ensure that people from the trans community are also provided with the benefits, the struggles that they have on day-to-day basis, be it with gender reassignment surgery or be it with documentation. How do we ease up that? How do we normalize getting them in the workforce? And all about enabling them as well. So we touched about 70 to 80 people in the community towards their employment. I'm playing this video, and after that, I'll talk a bit more about the program.
What if your
Are you able to
identity
hear it?
didn't
Can you
exist?
confirm it, please?
What if your family disowned you?
Yes,
what if
yes,
you
we
couldn't
can see.
apply for work? What if your dignity was stripped from you? Living in the shadows as India transforms into a powerful economy. More than 500,000 trans people fight against gender inequality and bias every day. 94% are denied work, but they won't continue to be denied help. Bringing them to light and voicing their stories for inclusion, Transcend is a program in partnership with the Humsafar Trust, India's oldest LGBTQ+ group that aims to transition the ostracized transgender community towards acceptance. We heard their stories and reached out to leaders in corporations, academia, and NGOs to take real and transparent action. Transcend enabled aspiring trans filmmakers to tell their own stories, while we created a documentary, People Not Labels, featuring the love story between a trans woman and a trans man. A social media campaign shared opinions and articles from leading activists to help transform workplaces. And the result? Jobs were offered, social identity documents issued, and inclusive policies adopted by companies.
Let's start with a slice of history that was created today.
India's Supreme Court has made a landmark ruling.
Transcend has been central to supporting the movement for abolishment of the oppressive Section 377. And millions have joined us in support of inclusivity, shining light on the silenced ones.
So, when we started the work with Humsafar Trust for Transcend in the year 2017, Section 377 was not decriminalized. So, our focus essentially was to look at issues that came out of the Nalsa judgment of 2014, and how was it that we address the gaps and provide protection that is required for the community, ensure that there is ground level change which is being done. We'd also invited a group of people from the Humsafar Trust to come and join us in the office for a roundtable conversation to help people understand what are the life challenges, what's their backstory, and how is it, and what is it that we'll be partnering with them on, and how do we help them get employed, how do we help them get their social statuses in place, documentation in place. Basically, it was like an awareness program. And if you see People Not Labels, and if you also check it on YouTube, you'll be able to see the video that we created. And since then, we have been continuing our program or under the flagship name of People Not Labels. The essential change that we want to bring to the society in general is that there's a lot of labeling that happens when you look at someone. At the end of the day, every person is an individual, and we need to look at the person and not necessarily the labels that are assigned to them. So with that, we went ahead and we moved forward into the journey of People Not Labels. And I also want to showcase another video. This is actually going to be a lot of video and few slides because I intend it to be a lot more interactive session. Please feel free to pause me and ask questions. I'll be more than happy to cover them as we move on. Yeah. This is another video that we created under the flagship program of People Not Labels.
Chowmin.
Momos.
चक्का
50-50. ये सिग्नल वाले ऑफिस में काम करेंगे?
That's a long gap in your resume. Incompetent.
Kaluvi.
मीचा
Mr. Dictator.
This is the big boys club.
ये क्या काम करेगा? अपाहिज.
Does the color of my skin decide how much respect I deserve?
I'm tired of being treated like a second-class citizen in my own country.
My sexuality, how I choose to express it, is my business.
You can only see my professional success, not my constant battle with anxiety and stress.
I'm educated, smart, and contributing to the society. But all you care about is my gender?
Why does my last name have to decide my profession?
I took a break in my career, not a break from my dreams and my abilities.
I wish for a world where people are defined by their abilities.
I deserve better. I deserve to have dignity.
I am unique.
I matter.
Just like you.
Just like you.
Just like you.
Just like you.
I do acknowledge that this can be a little heavy as well, right? We brought in a lot of mainstream issues that people face at workplace. So if in case, it may have triggered you, please feel free to take a break. While our intention is to ensure that these issues are brought forth and we work towards inclusion of people by not labeling them. I'll move on. This has been one of the flagship videos that we created on People Not Labels, and this has really hit chords with a lot of our folks internally and even externally, in which they realize that yes, and when we specifically talk about the rainbow community or the LGBTQI inclusion, largely the experiences of the community are not understood. Their backstories are not known. And therefore, people come with certain assumptions, their own unconscious biases, and they are not truly inclusive. What has been our endeavor since 2018, October 2018 is when we had launched the Pride BRG. Our endeavor is to ensure that experiences are understood. People's stories are brought forth to our employees, and we understand why or what has been the key life experience. While we had the launch of the Pride BRG after Section 377 was repealed, we did a session with Deepak Kashyap in which he brought about that how is it that you become more inclusive for the rainbow talent. We did Pride Month celebration, and this was the first Pride Month celebration that we did in June 2019. And honestly, I'll tell you, I think I was proud of the part of the Pride BRG then, and we did not have anyone from the rainbow community to come and talk about it. We really found it challenging that, okay, how do we bring forth topics that make home with the community, but by someone who's not part of the community? And I think since then, our endeavor began that we have to give more visibility. We have to get more of rainbow hires in the organization. We have to ensure that we have people part of the community who are coming and sharing their life experiences. Back then, we'd asked our leaders to write their own blogs and, share about their own experiences. And a lot of people had come forward, and not just the leaders in the organization, but also other individuals had come ahead and shared their experiences from the community. We then went ahead and our first panel that we did was in September 2019, which we call Become Part of My Story. We brought in quite a few people from the LGBTQI community. They came and they shared their backstory. And I think since then, there has been a lot of sensitization. I remember once when we were facilitating this session during the whole COVID lockdown, one of the individuals reached out and said that, thank you. Thank you for sharing these life stories, because before the session, I never understood what's the experience of someone from the rainbow community, but now I do. And a lot of such stories have come forward where people have become visible and vocal allies, leaders who used to earlier shy away from being part of the Pride BRG. And Pride BRG is our internal network which works towards the development of the rainbow community, and also the aim is to build more and more visible and vocal allies and advocates in the system. And as we move forward, we started to work towards also some bit of leadership development and accountability for bringing in the rainbow hires. So we did a program which is specifically focused on leadership development. And one day in that program, we created an experiential session in which people could go ahead and interact with community members. We facilitated it in form of art, and people would make art pieces and they were handed over. But essentially, the purpose of the session was that our leaders speak to people from the trans community and also understand what their life experience has been, what are the key challenges, how is it that we can partner with them, grow and mentor them as well. Leading with Pride also has been our flagship program that we do with an external organization called Working with Pride. This is a program that focuses on growth and development of specifically leadership skills for the LGBT plus community, both in NCR and Bangalore. Sorry, I've not mentioned Bangalore, but there are two programs that are being run. And then, while we also partner with them in the development of the program, a lot of our leaders go ahead and mentor people who are then part of this program. So essentially, it is 6 months of the program and 3 months of an on-project experience. That is when the mentoring happens. And sometimes, these mentoring relationships go more than 3 months. For example, the two mentees that I've had, I've been, in and out of conversations with them for over 1 year now. So it's like a lifelong bond that one forms with them. We've also partnered with Global Out in Tech organization, where we hosted a panel discussion to discuss that what are the best practices to hire and retain LGBTQI plus talent. While we were also exploring this, we went ahead and launched Rainbow Internship Program. We are in the second year of this program, where we go ahead and we partner with an external organization and we get rainbow talent, right? We hire them as interns first. We offer them 3 or 6 months of internship, and basis their performance, we confirm them into a full-time job in the organization. While we got rainbow talent internally, we also worked up on a program to sensitize the team members. And I'll be honest here, when we did the first iteration of the transformation leadership program and we brought people from the community, um, I was really embarrassed by how people on the floor were staring at people from the community. And I discussed it with my DEI lead and I said, we need to sensitize our people. We need to help them understand that, because, mentally they're putting in a lot of labels in their head. At the end of the day, this is another person and there is a lot of respect which is required. We did these sensitization programs for teams specifically, where we brought in the rainbow interns. We have also done sensitization programs for the interviewers. So not just anyone can go ahead and interview people. We have a group of sensitized interviewers who go ahead and interview people from the community. Like I said, we bring in a lot of stories from the community. Ek Madhav Bagh, which is the celebrated play, we've done 2 showcases of that. One was done on an online forum, and then we did the last one in last year, June, as part of Pride Month celebrations. We also support queer suppliers. We help. Not help, we actually partner with them and essentially bring up their products and share with them, right? We bring it forward to all our employees. We also encourage our employees to showcase their proud ally badges, to use rainbow lanyards, so that they stand with us in solidarity. We also host the Pride flag every month, every year in the month of June, as part of Pride celebration in all our office locations. Recently, we also participated in the Trans Employment Mela with the Tweet Foundation. We did sessions with participants of this Mela so that we can help them draft their CVs, be ready for the interview sessions. Also, as part of being inclusive, we have gender neutral washrooms in our office. And, while it is being looked at just another addition or just another thing, I have a story to share. I was speaking to one of the hires that we have as part of the Rainbow community. The individual identifies self as genderqueer and their pronouns are they, them, theirs. And the person told me, we were actually going for a session and we said that, okay, we'll take a quick washroom break. And the person said that, no, I'm good here. As we settled into the session, the person said that, while growing up in school and college, I never drank enough water, because the next immediate thing would be for me to use the washroom. And I felt uncomfortable going in a boys' washroom. For them, gender neutral washroom means a lot. And I think the way we have crafted all the experiences, that every experience matter, every voice matters. So when you create this, and even if it impacts one person, we still decided that we'll go ahead and do something like this. We extensively use pronouns. And if you also see here in the name that I've put in the Zoom window, you see my pronouns. We normalize the use of pronouns so that people feel safe. They feel free to express themselves, their identity. In fact, all our leaders, when they share emails, when they share updates, they always share their pronouns in the signatures, so that expressing self and expressing one's gender identity is a normalized topic in the organization. I'll pause here if there are any questions. I've spoken a lot. If in case you have questions to understand that, were there any hindrances, because I've just spoke about what has worked out, but yeah, there were a lot of hindrances that we overcame in the whole journey. So our Pride BRG's name is Egalite, and these are few of the sessions. Like I said, we do active allyship sessions every month, and we've had roughly about 430 plus participants. There's a panel discussion that happens. There are these workshops that happen. We do Pride Walk in all our offices. In fact, there's one that is going to happen in the Gurgaon office tomorrow. We also partner with Mist Foundation, which is a Pune-based queer firm, and we do movie screening for our people every year in the month of June and September. We bring forth LGBTQIA plus movies, and it's like a free access which is given to our employees. There are more than 50 movies every year that we bring, and then we also encourage people that they watch these movies along with their family and friends, so that there are more allies and advocates built in the journey. This year, interestingly, we also did a parenting and an allyship discussion in which we brought parents of people from the community to talk about their own journey of being Pride allies, and how the journey was for themselves to make the shift along with their children. While we've worked on various programs, we've also understood that it's very important for us to enable a workplace that supports LGBTQI inclusion from policies and benefits standpoint. All our policies are equal opportunity policies, which include individual sexual orientation, gender identity of expression. All our insurance benefits cover live-in partners, same-sex partners as well, irrespective of individuals' marital status, sexual orientation, or gender expression. And then our benefits, which means the parental leaves, are also gender agnostic, right? We have medical and life insurance. We are amongst very few organizations in the Indian corporate space that cover sexual reassignment surgeries also in the insurance process. We also have the HIV treatment coverage in the insurance process. Our EAP services, which is the employee assistance program services, also cover the LGBTQI specific needs. We've also had conversation with our service provider in which we've expressed that we will need specific counselor who can deal and who are equipped to handle with the LGBTQI specific needs, questions, and help and support them for their mental well-being. We have zero tolerance on any discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity, or any expression as part of the whole written employment policy statement. And we also have gender neutral anti-harassment policy in the organization. These are a few of the pictures that we have leading with Pride sessions that we've done. The transformation leadership program that we facilitated. Before I move on to next, and as we went ahead and we covered the whole people, not labels, this year we are bringing forth a lot of stories of people from the community who've been part of the organization. If you follow us on our social media handles, some of you may have seen this, but I want to bring forth stories of two people who are part of the community and also are part of our organization.
my name is Harish Panchbhai. My pronouns are he, him, his. I identify as a gay man. Today I'm wearing blue shirt, blue jeans, and blue shoes. I'm a part of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion team at Publicis Sapient, India. I'm born in an army family where my father was in the armed forces. I have been traveling to different cities. I'm raised in different cities in India, smaller cities, larger cities altogether. I also come from a family of dual faith. My mom's a Christian, my father's a Hindu. While growing up, I, of course, was a part of different schools in different cities, and it was a mixed bag of good and bad experiences. I was bullied heavily in school. I was bullied for being different. I was bullied for being more effeminate. People thought I'm more girly. The way I talked was girly. I was also not interested in playing football and basketball, which are termed as boys' games. And that put me into a place where I was ridiculed. And to save myself from these experiences, my defense was to become more aggressive. Because the moment I was aggressive, people would let me be. They will leave me alone. I was in denial about my sexuality for a good 20 years of my life. It was only at the age of 20 or 21 that I accepted myself for who I am. It was during this time India was also going through some changes in their legal system. We had seen laws that were being reinforced that were discriminatory. During this time, I was doing my master's and I picked up the research topics in my assignments around the LGBTQIA plus community and their representation in media. And right from my first assignment till my last thesis, I made sure that I was studying the queer community at large. What came out of it was it became a part of conversations. People started talking about it and they felt comfortable in accepting me because it was the education that was talking. However, I found that the workspace or the workplaces were not as inclusive. In one of my previous stints in a media house, right after a conference, one of the vice presidents asked my boss if I were gay. And when she did not confirm it, he went and said, अरे हम तो राजपूत हैं, हमारे घर ऐसा कोई पैदा होगा तो हम पैदा होते ही मार डालेंगे. Which translates into, oh, we are from the warrior caste. If someone like this is born into our family, we'll kill that person right away. This left a scar on me. I felt fearful. I felt belittled. What happens in the process is that I felt that I don't have the right to exist. and these experiences that happened, they stayed with me. I lost my confidence, and I didn't know anything better. In fact, I find this hypocrisy in the Indian workspace is quite a lot. Very recently, when we were trying to start and replicate a Pride network in India, which was a success at a global level, we faced a lot of resistance from the leadership. A mail was sent out where it was said that these people should not be given the platform to initiate and promote this idea of LGBTQI equality. What they meant was we don't have equal rights, and what they meant was we should not have the same platform as others would have. It's a privilege that one holds and the other does not. After these experiences, I really wanted to get into an inclusive workplace. It was during this time that I decided to pursue a role in diversity, equity, and inclusion and get through Publicis Sapient. On my first day to work, when I entered the office space, I saw the inclusive LGBTQIA pride flag put at the reception itself. It felt like half the battle won. In fact, I met so many people from the community and great allies in the LGBTQI network that we have in the organization. It is now that I finally can bring my whole self to work and be who I am.
so nice to read through the comments that are there on the chat. Um, Part of this video really got me moving. Anisha is there with us today in this group. I'm just pausing for a bit. I have another video, and the essential reason of showcasing these videos is also to show the journey that the organization has taken. And I say this with a lot of pride that in 2019, when we were planning to do the first Pride celebration in the office, we were literally out of ideas. We don't know who do we bring forward to, how do we initiate the conversation, to a place where we now have lots of people from the community who are out there to come and talk about and share about their experiences at the workplace. So Harish, kudos to you for being brave and talking about your experiences.
Thanks, Satyam. You're being kind.
Something's happened. My system's stuck. Just give me a minute. I'll try sharing again. Okay, this is the last video that I'll play, and after that I can take questions, okay?
I am Sharma. My pronouns are he, his, him. I am a trans man. I am wearing a pink shirt. I love to watch movies and dance. The biggest challenge of my life was my own identity. I was born as a girl, and I was in school. I attracted toward my teacher, who is woman, and I was very confused. I could not share it with anyone, so I started writing. I used to write everything that I want to change in my life, that I want to do for myself. One day my mother got the diary and she read everything, but we didn't speak anything about it. When I was in college, everyone told me to wear girls' clothes and called me tomboy. I felt very lonely and lost. I thought I should wait for some time, and after some time I spoke to my mother. I said I want to change myself, I want to change my body from female to male. She said, whatever you want to do, you can do, but do it yourself. I can only support you but can't pay for your surgeries. My family has always supported me, so I ignored everyone and I did not like to talk to anyone. When I got a job, I was able to pay for transition, and I started my hormone therapy, and then I went for my surgeries. Then I joined Periphery. They give training to trans people. I got interview call from Publicis Sapient. I was very happy to be selected as intern. I met many trans people and people from LGBT community. I have always received a lot of support from my colleagues. I am very excited. I am handling a project independently and I am very happy. Now I have many friends.
That was the second and the last video that I wanted to share. Yeah, thank you everyone.